Hello, this is Miss Adams. I'm going to show you how you create an annotation in Noodle Tools and what you should include in it. So I'm on the Okta page. Find your Noodle Tools icon wherever it lives. You click into it. It will bring you to your Noodle Tools homepage, and hopefully you already have a project started for whatever it is you're working on. I do, and it's in Chicago style, which is probably what you're going to be using. So we come into the project and we're now on the project dashboard. Kind of gives you a little overview of some major research points, but we're going to the sources page today. That's right here. And on this, I'm assuming that one, you've already done your source citations, you found them. You're going to have all of the sources you looked at in this bibliography, though I know you're not annotating all of them. So we've gone over how you can choose which ones will show up in your final annotation, final bibliography. We've shown you how to find the annotation part and add it. Right now, I'm going to show you what is going to need to be included in the annotations. So I'm going to go to this one because it's not omitted from my final product and I want you to see what an annotation looks like when you do it. We go to this blue option button and we choose Edit. So in here, just like in the other two videos, we scroll to the bottom where it tells us is the annotation style. And here's what we're going to do. An annotation is kind of made up of four things. And the first part is actually all of this, the citation itself. That is what starts an annotation. You need the source information. So check, you've got that. Then step two, and then step two is you need to summarize what are the main points in this source and why are you using it. So we say summarize, we'd be like main point 1, main point 2, main point 3. You just summarize in your own words what the source is providing you with for information. The third part you need to include is where you assess this information and assess those 3 points. You say, like, how are those points useful to my argument? You say, how does this info compare to other info I already had? And then you also need to consider the source, meaning who wrote it, why did they write it, is there a bias, objective. That might change how this information is shared or why it's shared, right? These are things you need to keep in mind because just because the information actually supports your argument, if it's someone who's from an organization that, say, is like the #1 supporter of whatever your information is, of course they're going to support your argument because they are in the environment and organization that supports that info. So keep that in mind while you assess those main points. So 1, we got a source citation. 2, you summarize those main points. 3, you assess how is this useful to my argument? How does it compare to what I already had? And who wrote it and why is it biased? Lastly, you will reflect on this information. And what that means is you say, how does this move my argument forward or change the thesis topic? You say to yourself, how can this be useful in moving my evidence forward? I think I actually kind of summarized it. That's all. Did this change how you think? Did this info change how you think about your topic? Question mark. And what's really nice is that in going through this small process, it almost tells you immediately if the source is at all useful for you in this project. Because when you get to reflection on the source, if you can't answer either of these questions, that probably means that the source is not that great and you should reconsider finding one that does move your argument forward or change your thesis, or 2, It changes how you think about the topic and informs it in a way that helps you move forward in research, writing, and thinking about your topic. Any questions, please find me, Miss Adams, online in any form you can, or if you're working with Miss Whalen or another librarian, please do reach out to them as well. Okay, thanks.